Hello, thank you for looking at the Elgin World War II A11 wristwatch. Just gonna go over the movement and everything about the watch. This watch is all original. It has not been serviced, so it's sold running as is. However, it has ran for over 24 hours. Um, Sometimes, I don't know why, it's actually not doing it now, but every once in a while, sometimes when the second hand goes around, it gets a little skippy. I actually did a little bit right there. It went a little skippy. But that doesn't really impede how the watch runs, I don't believe. Like I said, it ran for over 24 hours, no problem. For the first 12 hours, it kept perfect time. Towards the end of it winding down, I guess it started running a little fast, maybe because the mainspring was probably winding all the way down. And watches tend to run fast at that point. And it was running maybe about 3 minutes fast or 4 minutes fast, something like that. But for the first 12 hours that I observed it during the day yesterday, it was keeping perfect time. But again, it wasn't serviced, so it's being sold as is. The case is actually pretty good. There's really minimal plating wear on the case, which is kind of hard. I mean, you have some corrosion starting, but you don't tend to see any of the I don't really see any base metal on there except for on the crown. You can see some of the base metal. The only thing I did to this watch was put a new crystal. The old crystal was, someone glued it in and they did a very, very bad job of gluing it in. So I replaced the crystal, and this is actually a new old stock American wristwatch, olive drab canvas band, definitely from the period. And again, I don't want to open up the case back because when I took it off the first time, it took me a little while to get the case back threaded back on correctly. And I really don't feel like having to go through that again. So, but I will guarantee that there is a dust cover in here, as well as a 16 jewel hacking 539 movement. Well, obviously you can see a hack right here. Let's pull the crown out. Okay. And as you can see, it hacks. And I put it back in, and then it continues. So there definitely is a 539, 100% guaranteed 539 hacking movement in this watch. Everything is original. The hands, this isn't the original military hand, but it must have been a period replacement because it looks pretty old and it seems to have maybe a little loom on the tip. And that's pretty much it, but we're just real quick gonna check the position so you can see it runs in all the positions without taking the case back off. See, as you can see, I don't know why it gets a little skippy sometimes. Could just be maybe the second hand is probably loose on the pinion, or maybe the tension spring needs to just be adjusted on the movement, but I really don't want to mess with it, so again, it doesn't seem to interfere with the timekeeping of the watch anyway. Okay. All right. Thanks for looking, and bid accordingly.